A quick recording here on a Lenovo S30. This is going to be a little different of a video. We're going to be looking in the BIOS today of some interesting settings that you can look at if you have it unlocked, if you have a CPU that has an unlocked multiplier. And yeah, basically I just figured this out because I was having a huge issue, so I started actually going through all the settings and figuring out what was available to me. So inside of this Lenovo S30 BIOS, you can see it is Lenovo S30 here. And yeah, inside the BIOS, you go to CPU configuration, which is under advanced. Then you go to CPU power management configuration. And, well, look at this. Your core ratio limit. Generally, this will be all set to default or something. But yeah, it actually, inside of an OEM motherboard, you can actually adjust the maximum core or the turbo ratio pretty much. It's like maximum ratio. These CPUs here, for example, this one here, as you can see, actually no, it doesn't show here, but how do we do? Just escape. I'll show you what CPU this is. It is the Intel Xeon E5 1650. The first generation, so it has a 0 at the end, so you cannot necessarily overclock this using Intel Extreme Tuning Utility. This has to be done through the BIOS. But yeah, I thought this was actually really interesting to be able to see this kind of setting here. And what I'll do is quickly hit F10 and we'll boot into Windows, and I'll show you that I'm not just talking here, because this is actually really neat, because I've never seen anyone point this out before. I've read a lot of forums, I've looked a lot of places for this kind of information on the Lenovo S30. I personally hate the workstation, but that's just the reason I say I hate it is because the CPU fan control is absolutely garbage. So for example, this is gonna, like right now I put hooked up a spare fan just to go in front of it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to switch this CPU back to a quad core version, mainly because it just runs way too freaking hot. Let's go to Cinebench R15. Let's open hardware monitor, and let's open task manager. Task manager. Right now you can see just in there, this is 4.2 gigahertz here on a single thread. Like, that's pretty incredible. Yeah, and you can see this is the Lenovo S30, which is missing an optical drive. It says S30 at the bottom right here. This is an OEM system that you're able to actually somewhat overclock your CPU. Mind you, you do not have voltage control, and as I was mentioning, the CPU cooler is garbage. So you can see here it's 60 degrees already on idle. But yeah, this is not focusing. Yeah, I need to open up Intel Extreme Tuning Utility. That is the other program that you still need it. And the reason you need this is because you need to increase the turbo power requirements. Sorry, this is not a great professional video, but it's more just the quick and dirty one that just shows you, like, okay, what do you actually need to do? So first things first, you need to increase this power boost to about 170 watts. Okay, I set mine to 200 by accident. Hang on. I'll set it to, you can't really see this. My phone's just not focusing in here properly. My God. Alright, you can somewhat see it now. It's really tiny, and after this gets uploaded to YouTube and compressed, it'll be even worse looking. But yeah, so I'll set my max turbo to 173 watts. Maybe I'll increase it a little bit more. So I'll set it to 185 watts. And yes, you can think to yourself, like, yeah, that's freaking insane how much wattage it is, but this is a really old Xeon platform, and yeah, these 6-core CPUs are freaking power hungry. So yeah, right now you can see we're using we're just single thread performance. We're getting anywhere. No, it's at 3.94 gigahertz. It's just bouncing around. It's not stable. Well, it's stable, like you're not going to crash. You can see here, it'll automatically just drop down to, where are we watching here? So yeah, right now it's running at 4 gigahertz, and it should drop down slowly. And I have increased the turbo mode, and you can see up top there, the power draw is 150 watts, which is not there we go. After the short turbo boost, that was 10 seconds approximately, which is the max. What? No, I thought I don't know. This is something I still need to work out and figure out later, but it's like, yeah, now obviously it's running back at its stock frequency, but I just wanted to show that this is an option. Like, let's say you're doing something like single threaded, like you're playing a game like CSGO, or you're just, yeah, working on something that needs a really high single thread clock speed, and you have the Lenovo S30 and you have a CPU with an unlocked multiplier. This is an interesting feature in my opinion because it now shows you that we can run an OEM system. Well, this particular model anyways. I've never seen this on a BIOS before, like an OEM BIOS before. That's why I'm making this really crappy video, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. We can see our CPU score is 900, which is a lot higher than what I've previously gotten on this same CPU. Generally, I've gotten about 850, 825. But yeah, because for the first like 10 seconds or whatever the short turbo boost is, we can stay at 4 gigahertz, which is pretty insane, honestly. And yeah, but anyways, that's a quick video. If you guys have any comments, definitely drop them below. But yeah, I would not recommend buying a Lenovo S30, and I'll conclude at that because the heatsink and the fan, like the heat management and everything, it's just really terrible. It is honestly terrible. So yeah, don't get a Lenovo S30, but if for some reason you have a Lenovo S30, yeah, get Intel Extreme Tuning Utility, hop into BIOS, and increase your turbo power max and whatever. And yeah, this turbo window didn't really work out for me. Power time window, yeah, like you can't do much more to overclock it because you really honestly need voltage control, and that's something that you don't get on an OEM motherboard as far as I'm concerned, but one day I might find that just as I found this setting. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, drop them below, and yeah, hope this helps.